be simple, but go deep, you know, and relish every word. And so, so that you're not wasting words, you're not wasting space in a message. And if you are kind of doing some inserts of pausing and things of that sort, it ought to feel like it's supposed to be that way, or that you're making a point that should arrest the listener or what have you. But I do wonder what are some of the things that you commend to students in reference to writing for the ear and helping them to be a good steward of the allotted time that they have to preach.
One of the things we have to recognize is that the sermon manuscript is not an exegesis paper. And for that reason, you can repeat the same sentence 3 or 4 times for clarity. And if I were a reader, I'd say, okay, I got it the first time. Or I can just look back at it. But for the ear, when you're writing for the ear, I might say, Christ loves you. Did you hear me? Jesus loves you. And I'll just keep repeating or rephrasing. And it doesn't seem like overkill because when we say it once, I may not get it. When we say it again and again and again, I'll probably catch on. So I think that's the difference, is that it's not an exegesis paper. You're writing for the ear.
So I'm always surprised when people come in for their sermon conferences with me. And we will watch the sermon, and they know I'm going to ask them this question. They know it. And I will say, so what was the gospel promise? And they go, oh, wait a minute. And they go down to get their paper. I was like, yeah, that's the problem with this sermon. That was the problem, is that you don't know it. Or it was too long. So we spent a lot of time on that, getting it tight and strong. And does it sing? And does it make your heart sing? And is it something you really want to say to this community so that it's right there. The gospel promise was this. And wow, and if people know it, it makes all the difference in the world.
I mean, I've forgotten what my main idea is by Tuesday. So if I've forgotten by Tuesday, because I'm already on the next sermon, if I've forgotten by Tuesday, then think about how challenging and how messy communication is if I'm the one who wrote the sermon and I forgot.
I think also the temptation is to focus just on one preaching moment, that event, and to treat that as if that's the most important thing. That's where all the formation happens. That one moment, and I think that's a lot of pressure in just one event. So I think, but it's very tempting to think of it that way, and I think there's beauty to that we take it that seriously, that we tremble before that opportunity and the privilege God's given us. But I think it's also wise to know that it's about a preaching ministry, right? A pastoral ministry. So if we can't cram all the information we want into one sermon, it's okay, because we have to trust that we're going to be walking with the congregation the years to come too. So I think partly what helps with the clarity question is we have to think about what do I need to hear, what do they need to hear today at this time, in this very moment? What is God saying to us today? But I think that kind of a bigger view of pastoral ministry actually helps to clarify what we're doing in that moment.
I do wonder whether or not the itinerant preacher, which I tend to be, has a little more advantage in allowing the message to kind of settle and mature, whereas the person who's preaching 52 Sundays out of the year, you know, that has to be a different level of preparation and skill.
I don't remember where I originally heard it, but someone who compared preaching sermons faithfully over time to cooking meals nightly, that not every dinner will taste good, even if we experiment and try our best. Not every recipe was a good recipe, and not every meat was grade A. And sometimes, we just do the best we can with the materials that we have and the time that's allotted us for cooking. But at the same time, someone who cooks for others, for a family, say, is giving an offering. And that the family who enjoys it will notice the person's faithful cooking over time, as opposed to the individual meals that may or may not have been that good.